So, good evening, everyone, and I'm so excited to welcome you to the Talk to Transformation, the leadership language shift. Today, we're going to explore how leadership is no longer just about position, but a powerful, conscious communication. As I keep getting heard about that, leadership is not just about titles, but it's taking ownership of the roles which should play. Whoever is watching this video right now, whoever is gonna watch this video later, I want you to pause the video here, right here, and write down the different roles you play as an individual in your day-to-day life. It can be a role of your friend, it can be a role of a mentor, it can be a role of your of you know a teacher, whatever it is. We play different roles on a day-to-day basis, isn't it? So that being said, we live in a world where words can either build trust or break teams because your language as a leader shapes the energy, your engagement, and excellence of your people. Now, let's understand as to why language matters in leadership because language creates culture. Isn't it? We have different ways of communication, different ways of communicating something to someone, depending upon it, which type of culture they are in. And it influences our mindset and our motivation. Leaders who shift their language shift their results. Because today we have different types of leadership styles. And any one leadership style will be very dominant. But understanding what is your dominant leadership styles comes with you putting yourself into different situations and understand what is that situation trying to teach you. Either in certain leadership roles, you might have to take the initiative, but in certain leadership role, you will be guiding your team. Might be that. I'll tell you an example. Think of Satya Nadella at Microsoft. This shift from a know it to all to learn it all, culture started with how he spoke. His language fostered psychological safety and innovation. Think of a leader you admire. What phrases or tone made them memorable or influential? Think of a leader that you admire. I repeat this again. What phrases or tone made them memorable or influential? We all love to watch movies, right? We all love to watch movies. And I don't know, I'm not sure in which superhero movie he says this that change is inevitable. I think it's one of the Marvel superheroes movie which says. Now I'll give you a couple of examples of how your just changing your language will help you to see a different result. When you have to tell to someone that you must do this particular work or this particular activity, instead of telling them you must, tell them what do you think we could give it a try. The same thing. I just changed the language. Just changed the words which I used. Right? And many a times we come back and say that won't work. But shift your language to let's explore the possibilities of getting that work done. Or when you ask someone that, why did you do that? Instead, go ask them, help me to understand your process. I will have a different process, different way of doing things. Shabana may have a different way of doing things. But sometimes values will be the same. But everyone has their own style, or Shabana ma'am will have her own style of doing things. I will have my own style of doing things. Rajvan will have her own style of doing things. Might be. But that doesn't mean what I am doing or what Shavana ma'am is doing is wrong. That's not the idea. We have different process or we have different ways of doing the same thing. The way I make noodles will be different. The way Shabana ma'am makes it will be different, but it's the same process. But we use different methodologies to make that the same dish. Okay, I just want to get some perspectives from the audience today for this particular statement. What phrases do you use that might shut down creativity or collaboration? I'll repeat that question again. What phrases do you use that might shut down your creativity or collaboration? Many times we talk a lot of things, we speak a lot of things, communicate a lot of things to a lot of people, right? Sometimes certain words which we use invite for collaboration, certain words might not get what we ask, think, or ask for. Sometimes just changing of that statement or changing of that words which we use to communicate with someone will make a whole lot of a difference. All of you agree with me on this? So the way we communicate, because Meenaji will have a different way of communication as a leader. Samina ma'am will have a different way of communication as a leader. It's not about right or wrong, but identifying what works as a leader for us plays a big role, isn't it? That's what we're just trying to understand. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to understand what kind of leadership style you use. Yeah. So let me break down a new, rather a phrase, rather the a tool or a technique which we use. The leadership language shift. Now, when I say shift, let me break down that acronym for you. The shift. First, your self awareness. We should be mindful about your or my emotional triggers and tone. We have to be mindful because leadership begins with listening to yourself, isn't it? The self talk which we do, and that is the kind of practice which we make for ourselves before we go and address any kind of audience. H stands for honesty with empathy. Speak the truth with compassion or speak anything with compassion. And paraphrasing with someone, if someone has told you something, paraphrase it, in the same thing in a different way to bring it clarity of the same situation what that person was talking about. That brings clarity. Otherwise, what happens? There are chances where we start misinterpreting the same thing in different manners. Coming back to the eye of shift, intentional influence. Use language that leads, not pushes. That's what I said in the beginning, where leadership is not just about titles, it's about taking ownership. So we need to start using the words that empower or create that ownership for ourselves and with others. Life doesn't goes in the way we want, or life is not, life doesn't always goes in the way we want. But that doesn't mean that we don't plan, but we have to be future focused because we need to have an idea, okay, what is going to happen? So that at least we are prepared and we avoid blaming other people. Rather, we focus on what to do next or focus on what's next instead of who did it, why he or she did it. Okay, now we have understood the situation. Let's now ask a different question as to what can we do right now. That's about taking the ownership. Now, coming back to the T, the last letter in shift, trust building talk. Many a times, what happens is that depending upon the situation, depending upon the person, we omit or we don't tell half of the things. But speaking with the transparency and the consistency plays a big role, or the fastest way to earn trust through congruent language. Many times, what happens is that I have seen a lot of clients coming back to me stating something is not working out. So I go back and ask them that is your words which you speak and the actions which you do, is it congruent to what you're looking for? Many times we are not, right? We are not, we don't. Sometimes, it's, do not attach a problem with the person, because many a times it's not intentionally many of us do it. Sometimes it's because of the situation and the scenario which makes us to do certain things. And this is a task which I would highly recommend, try to do, whoever is watching this now or later, that write down 3 phrases you would like to commit to replacing with more empowering alternatives. Say, for example, instead of saying I'm not good enough, you can tell yourself that I'm still learning. That makes it more powerful, isn't it? Okay, before I go forward, any questions or any thoughts or anything you want to share at the moment before I go forward? I have a couple of more things to tell you, but yeah, before I go forward, do you have anything you want to share or ask me at the point?
Namaste, Namaste and Sat Sri Akal, Dharshani and everyone to Mavin.
Thank you.
And I'm absolutely at awe at your presentation so far. So yeah, so you're talking about paradigm shift and mind shift. It's really, really powerful. And laughter gives that
Thank you.
mind shift. If you could tell me how to actually, I'm actually trying to use laughter, even though when my nephews, I'm into so much laughter that into so much laughter that for 5 days really transformed me, that I cannot accept any negativity right now. So of course, before going uh yeah before going, that was a different story, but now when I come back, I cannot accept it's called I cannot so how do you my question is this before I continue. How do you emotionally regulate yourself when you're so happy in corporate, in family dynamics and everything else, and in corporates? Maybe you want to cover that,
Okay.
because
Thank you for that wonderful question.
emotional regulation is common for all laughter yoga teachers like myself. And I've been in a conference for 5 days with 150 delegates. I'm sure they would be feeling the same. So what is your advice for us? Because I might
Okay.
share
Thank you.
I
Thank you
might
for that
share
wonderful
you
question.
with them also. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful question, Rajvan. Um, See, uh, along with time management, there's something called energy management. And in life, it's always ups and downs, right? When there's an up, there's a down also, right? You are already into so much of it. You are already into so much of energy where you have spent your energy learning and giving your learnings out to the world. So you're already, your mind is so overloaded. So give the space and time to process, give it a break. Okay, that break which you take, half an hour, 1 hour, you don't do anything, cut off from everything. Give yourself that break because your mind needs time to process it, right? So give that self your first step is give yourself a break. And emotional regulation is something, you know, what I would say is, when I say there's always up and down. Life is all about having positives as well as negatives. I'm not saying negative will not happen. Uncertainty we have to be prepared for. But then, uh, many a times, if we know about our, calculated risk, at least we are prepared that something, that there are chances for a pitfall. So having that understanding is also equally important. Yeah. Rajvin, one only simple tip or hack I would give is, how much ever you work, make it a point weekly once. You give yourself 1 day break. No doubt. No regrets on that. No guilt on that. At least a half a day break. Give yourself that break.
For 4 5 days for the
Hats off to you for showing this kind of a commitment, but still you need to give yourself a break.
if I give myself if I give myself a break, it will be worse. Because then if I think and think and think, it will be so much worse. Rather than
It's okay.
yeah, rather
See,
than
as far as I'm concerned, I feel many a times you're overdoing a lot of things, right? You're
it's
showing up in a
actually
lot
it's
of
actually
places.
it's actually good. It's actually good for me because to keep my mind occupied and all
It's
of that.
good, my dear. At least give yourself a break. Sometimes just having that
I
self-pampering
do.
session would give a lot of help.
do.
Yeah. See, I'm not doing don't do it. I'm not saying don't do it, but give yourself some break somewhere so
I
that you
take
come back with refreshed ideas in your mind.
I take 1.5 hours break every
Simple.
day.
Simple. Yeah.
Okay.
Huh? Thank you. Shabana ma'am, would you like to add anything here to what I said, or what is your perspective or your take on this?
No, agree with you totally. Yeah, break is good. And yeah, and there is always like we need to keep on learning because no matter how much we do, there are always something in which we can improvise.
Yes, definitely, definitely. You know, so if okay, now let me just give you a couple of practical tools as to what you can do or anything that I will just tell you right now. Um, when this is a tool called reframing. Say, for example, reframing your negative situation or your negative questions to, what is that situation trying to teach me? Not every time, whenever possible, give it this a try. Because many times we think that somebody will come to rescue us, but that's not actually the thing. Or you telling yourself that you've done this before. The kind of anchoring technique which we do. Yes, one is your reframing, second is your anchoring. Say, you've done this before, even right now I can do this. Or try, mirroring or matching a voice tone of the person whom you admire. Might be that. Try doing it. I'll give you one very simple example of my own experience, which I started doing is that I am a person who looks up to Priyanka Chopra like anything. There are times where I've tried mimicking or mirroring her body language, the way she talks, the way she walks. All this I've tried. So sometimes doing that will help. And giving a power pause before you go or before you enter a stage to address the audience or talking to anyone. Give it a pause. Because giving that pause will give you a lot more clarity as to what you need to talk. Maybe the same thing, you can give it in a different way. The communication, certain days it will be in a different manner, certain days it will be in a different manner. But find out what is your best way and package it very well and give it as a product. Yes, but this power pause before speaking or telling something back to the audience or to the person whom you've been communicating with, it makes a whole lot of difference. Because I say, or rather in many books I've heard this, that your voice is your leadership signature. So don't underestimate your voice. Remember, people don't just follow your actions, they follow the story you speak. From boardrooms to team calls, every word is either a bridge or a barrier. Let me repeat that to you. Remember, people don't just follow your actions, they follow the story you speak. From boardrooms to team calls, and every word is either a bridge or a barrier. Speak not just to be heard, but to empower. So, this is something I will all leave you with. And as I said earlier, leadership is not about titles, but it's about taking ownership. Ownership, when I say ownership, it's about taking control over the situation. I'll give you a very beautiful example of the statement. I don't know, you must have noticed this in a lot of your Instagram reels. This comes where a small kid, you know, taking that horse to the this thing, the designated spot, whatever, what is it called? Yeah, uh, a small kid walking a horse. So it's not age doesn't matter to what kind of leadership roles you take up, but taking that necessary ownership is a priority these days. And the kind of leadership you have to play will vary with situations, will vary with culture, will vary with people. It might be different things for different people. And the different roles which you play as an individual. Yeah. So that's how it goes. So this is something which, we need to start taking that conscious steps towards changing the communication style many a times. Many a times we have to do that. Because the way I talk with Rajvin or with the way I talk with Shabana or the way I talk with many people, sometimes depends on the situation that the style of communication will change for sure, no doubt. Yeah. Any questions in regard with leadership? See, today we have different kinds of leadership styles, but see where it matches. Jay Kumar sir, Amina ma'am, what is your thought or your perspective on this? Anything would you like to share?
Yeah, good evening to everybody.
Good evening, sir.
So I just after a long time I'm attending this. I saw your name
Happy
and
to
then
have you back.
I saw your name and then I've heard you once more also.
Great.
I
Thank
said
you.
let me get some good insights and then apply it and then work on it.
Oh, okay, great.
So like you said, every word has a bridge and barrier.
Yes, definitely.
That is a fantastic. All the time you can keep in mind when we speak or when we write or when you can always create a bridge so that will keep moving. So that one immediately struck on me. And then you said reframe. So because my son is being treated for OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder,
Okay.
for last several years. So one of the initial doctor, he asked me to buy a book and read the name of Brain
Okay.
Lock by Jeffrey Squats.
Okay.
So that book was fantastic. So that he has mentioned that no medicine is required. You have to relabel, refocus, reframe, relabel, refocus, and revalue. Keep applying this. So immediately that word also. So it's all overall it's very good, but only main thing is that whatever we hear from you or hear from anybody, we have to practice it. That is the thing.
That's the exhausting and sometimes the most irritating part. That is where it comes.
Correct.
Sir, since you were talking about this OCD for with your son, see,
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe we can even connect on a personal level because there are a lot of see. I've done my NLP masters,
Okay.
so there are a lot of techniques which you can or which can remove or reframe a lot of things without them itself knowing. What I can give you, like, can give you a lot of insights on this particular segment with
Mhm.
you through, if we can connect on a personal level.
Yeah, I will definitely. I'll connect. Not for, of course, for my son, for me also, because I also have to get certain things straightened because I have a lot of things which I have to improve. And one thing mainly I saw is that I always need a coach who can be after me. Then I'm on it. Otherwise, I keep dropping things and then come back to the same
Don't worry, we will
pattern.
connect on
Yeah, I will call you.
this.
Definitely.
Okay.
And I acknowledge you. At this age, you have been wonderfully creating things for us. So I would also spread out in little higher level. You can connect the people, and they'll be benefited. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to have you in every session of mine.
Yeah, definitely.
I do it every Mondays.
No, all the sessions I'll attend from tomorrow.
Good.
I'll attend every day
Good.
session. It makes a difference, definitely. Thank you.
Thank you.
And
So my only
I will take a minute more, but I wanted to say that I saw Rajvin after a long time. I mean, she looks really. Uh, I saw her long back, and now I'm seeing that there's a lot of grace in her face. So I just wanted to acknowledge her also.
No,
Thank you.
because I laughed a lot with Madan Kataria, and today, we as laughter teachers, we were busy in the conference until I laughed and laughed and laughed until sometimes emotions come out after a good conference. You
Got
know,
it.
it doesn't happen today only. It happens every day.
Okay.
After you cry out,
Mm-hmm.
you feel better. Like you are special needs. You have a child with special needs, so you could relate where I'm coming from, because I'm also as a laughter therapist, I'm also worried, and I'm also joyful to take on laughter yoga in the next level, where I will be creating a 24-hour um, 24-hour Malaysia and India helpline with all the sick patients who need help in laughter. I'm sure I will get support from Mavin and Laughter Yoga International in this. Thank you, Jayakumar,
Yeah. Welcome. Thank you.
for the compliment.
So with that being said, words are not just words are energies. And it's a choice which we have to make to choosing the right kind of words with the right kind of energy to.
Everything is energy, actually, but sometimes people can say hurtful things to hurt us, but if it happens over and over again, like for me, I just bottled and I just cry.
If you need a different result, if you need a different reaction or a response, you just need to change the way you communicate. But always remember this, that leadership is not about having titles, but it's about taking ownership to your own situation. With that being said, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dharshani. You will see you on next Monday.
Thank you, dear.
Yeah, Darshini, this creates a lot of problem. Taking ownership and being responsible sometimes with your spouse, no? So I always tell her, she tells something, I said, what next? Ye to ho gaya, just drop it. So she says, you don't
Yes.
hear me.
See,
So
again,
now,
that is where instantly you don't give her a response to it, but pause it for some time and then you tell her. That makes a difference.
yeah,
Try this for yourself and see.
I have already practiced and slowly mastering it. So now she is at peace a lot.
Great. Good.
So you are from
Shabana ma'am,
where? Tamil Nadu?
I'm from Kerala, but my
Kerala.
native is
Okay.
Tamil Nadu. Yes.
Okay. You can speak Tamil.
Yep, I do.
So I'm in Delhi based, 53 years, but I'm from Tanjavur.
Oh, my favorite city, Tanjavur. I don't know, somehow the Brihadishwara temple and
Mm,
me and Tanjavur, good combo, somehow.
correct. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shabana ma'am, over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Darshini. Thank you, everyone. And see you again tomorrow. Thanks.
शबाना जी मैं चाह रहा हूँ कि हर सेशन में कम से कम 25 लोग आए तो आई एम गोइंग टू स्प्रेड इट लाइक अ वाइल्ड फायर बिकॉज people are not getting benefits out of this, so I will
Thank
also spread out to many people to attend them.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.